All right, welcome everyone to the Red Spotlight Entertainment Andor reactions. We're already going to be doing episodes 7, 8, and 9. That's kind of incredible. Before we get into that, of course, we're still kind of like, this is probably one of the best things, not only that we've reacted to, but just watched, because I feel like we're just left reeling from like all the greatness that happens week in and week out. And so we want to go ahead and begin and ask the person who was not here with us last time to see what she thought about episodes 4, 5, and 6. Alexis, go ahead, tell us.
They were pretty good.
Put
I put it
close to you. You sound distant.
They were pretty good.
You have to have the microphone as close to you as you can.
I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a funny part. David was when we would have finished the first or like episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, pay attention. So I'm watching, and like when she takes the drug, I'm like, she fucking died. And David was just like, no. But that's it. I don't know. I guess like every like stuff that happens in the show, I'm just like, I did not think that they would do that, or I didn't think that they would show us that, or bring these topics up, and it's so good.
It really is. Do we have any expectations for today's set of episodes? Because the way that people have been talking about them.
I know a lot of people said that these made them cry. So, don't make fun of me.
I mean, that's what a reaction is for, right? It sounds like things might get a little bit tense. Especially since
the last episode when they were like going back and forth with stealing stuff, and oh my god, I watched that part at work and I was just like I couldn't handle it.
Well, it was. I mean, I know that I said like tonight might get really, really tense, but I mean that's like cutting. That's not really the whole story, because like I feel like every part of this season has been very tense. Like I think to myself, like hilariously, the mom dinner scene with Syril and Dedra was very, very tense. Just to sit through that, and then last week, Clea and Lonnie trying to get out the communicators thing from the little that was
crazy.
Most of our reactions in the video, that was our main reactions. Like it would cut to the heist, and we'd be calm, but then cut to the that little party thing, and we're both like, oh my god.
Crazy.
So and I feel like we kind of have a pretty good feeling about the trajectory of where things are going to go, because it just seems fairly, people use the word obvious in a very derogatory way. I don't use it that way, because I feel like, unfortunately, the sad reality when it comes to the brutal reality of fascism, it is all too predictable which way things are going to go. And this whole season has kind of set up Gorman to be kind of like a sacrificial lamb. And things are going to blow up, especially because both sides are kind of egging it on. I thought it was kind of interesting while watching some of the reactions from last week. I particularly saw from the Heroes Reforged channel, Hector was like a little bit conflicted about which side is right. More right, I guess. Is Cassian right to like back away and not like let the Gormans let themselves burn, chasing something that's going to destroy everything? Whereas Luthen sees like, well, if it's going to happen anyway, we might as well just use it to our benefit.
Yeah.
And because of that moment where it's like, what if it burns? And Luthen's like, well, it'll burn brightly.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
And it's a really interesting reality. I mean, I feel like this is like kind of the crux of this show is like we're finally seeing in this universe just some real freaking conflict. And I think like this is incredible drama in which you set up two opposing sides, or I guess different viewpoints on the same side in this situation, and both are technically correct.
I mean, we've been getting that.
It's going
that the whole season. I mean, even since the first season, you know, like every episode or every 3 episodes. I mean, in the first 3 episodes, we had Andor coming up with those people, and they were both on the same side, but one was kind of useless. But like,
right.
You still have to be like, but they're helping us, and like I can't. Obviously, like there was only so much he could do, but he also was like, I need to help them, and that's just. I feel like that's. We keep getting put in these situations where it's like, they're on your side, but are they? Or like they're on your side, but like. How much, or even like yourself, how much are you willing to give as well?
Yeah. Basically, it is quite interesting to see which way this is all gonna pan out, right? But yeah. I guess we're gonna have to see how this is gonna go because people have been going off on this one a lot. So I guess should we just go ahead and start and see what happens? Okay, because we've got a lot of show ahead of us. Okay, let's go ahead and go over to Disney Plus. By the way, Alexis, I gotta ask you, what did you think of that that Saw Gerrera monologue?
You're here, you're right here, and you're ready to fight.
I mean, can you?
I mean, that line. He said like a specific line, right? That I think me and you talked about it. I can't. You know.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the line.
But I mean, it was pretty great, but he's a little intense.
I think it was something like rebellion isn't. It's for like the crazies or something. I can't remember the exact.
Rebellion
line,
isn't for the sane.
Yeah, that. I think that was like.
He's like, do you think I'm crazy? Well, I am. Rebellion isn't for the sane.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole idea of like, you know, thinking that Rhydonium, comparing it to his sister, like this guy is such a disturbed person.
Hasn't there always been something slightly arrogant about the Gore?
Oh, the mom in the 4th episode.
She's been watching too much Imperial News.
Dude, that triggered me.
To do the wrong thing.
Luthen should have told me you were in trouble.
Which one was the like for both of you? Like, what was the most triggering part of like this is too real?
I think that part and like the news and like the mom being like.
Well, there's too many to pick from. It's sad.
Like, I love the show so much, but it's so real. Like at least in the first season. It was a little like, damn, like, or at least for me, at that time, it was a little bit like, that could happen, but like, is it actually? And then this season is more like, fuck.
Yeah, this is literally happening.
It's too real.
To me, it was
We're
just
already here.
Yeah.
To me, it was just that meeting with the Gormans, that one dude who did that like arm thing, you know which one?
Huh?
You know that meeting the Gormans had, one where Syril was invited to?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, to me everything about that seemed like too real for me. Just like, everyone's just debating, fighting, trying to like tell their leaders like, hey,
I know which one. We talked about it. When I don't know
about the fact that in the Senate they had an oath keeper and that they had to take loyalty pledges at the beginning of every session.
In I think it was in that meeting, or maybe with just like the president of Gorman. I don't know what he is.
The leader of the rebellion.
Syril. I don't know how to say his name. When he's like, oh fuck, what does he say? We talked about it. I don't think the Emperor knows that these people are doing what these people are doing in his name.
Mm-hmm.
No!
The galaxy, had really no idea who Palpatine really was. Not even. The suffering is the point.
Mm.
That really ultimately is what, this is all him. So now we're a whole year later. And look where we are.
Heyo. I thought we were gonna get the beginnings of them making this into a base. But I mean, I don't mind skipping ahead. We already knew.
Le bajas porque no te escucho.
Oh, look who it is.
Yeah.
Oh wow. He said, "You know what? Enough of this."
Seems normal. Mm-hmm.
All things considered, who he was with.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Back from where?
Here and there.
This is here. I'm asking you where you were.
Just got in.
It's like a kid coming back from college.
Feel this city, which was already on edge these past few months, tightening up.
I love the way they put out information.
Yeah.
That was great.
I see.
It's not for lack of effort. Krennic's had the lab in Edu working overtime all year. I don't know the science, but it's bad luck, Gorman.
This is it.
Bad luck, Gorman.
Bad luck, Gorman.
You're aware, sir, that the insurgents have weapons at this point.
We're counting on it.
Oh my god.
I can't believe they're just planning for an all-out war.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You need to go home and pack and be ready to leave when I tell you.
What?
Good things are waiting for us. We'll be out of here soon. We'll be back in Coruscant. We'll be together. We'll be rewarded.
For what? What have we accomplished?
Look, there might still be a chance he'll turn. He has no idea what they're going to do to the planet, and I think once he figures it out...
He really had no clue.
Even he has to be
no clue.
This can't happen. No way. So, dang.
And he's the one that's been there the whole time.
Yeah.
Even if he was not obviously doing bad
No,
things,
yeah.
I'm sure,
No, I mean, the destruction of a planet, I'm pretty sure it can turn, even the slightest evil person to the good side.
You, I'm he's gonna turn, huh?
No, yeah, I was ready for him to just be like, oh, well, bye-bye planet.
I'm requesting a new driver.
Don't. They might send someone smart.
I saw people talking about this guy. Who is he?
He's new. He wasn't in the last episode.
He's an aide to Mothma. She kind of took him in after his mom died. His mom happened to be from Gorman. So that's an interesting link there.
Oh, that's right. He was in the first 3 episodes.
Yes. And he also, for what it's worth, is in Star Wars Rebels. We see him accompanying Mothma in that episode. So.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
This bombing last night.
They have no shame, do they? They don't even bother to lie badly anymore. I suppose that's the final humiliation.
That felt very potent to where we're living in right now. They don't even bother to lie badly anymore. See, if I were him, I would run at this point, because I feel like we all know, everyone knows where this is going at this point. Just get out. This is, gosh. By the way, did we mention that this would feel tense? Are you feeling there yet?
It's the first episode only.
I know.
You're lucky Marva's not here.
I'm not the one she'd be straining out.
She hated Force
She
healers.
hated one Force healer 10 years ago.
One was enough.
Doesn't mean the whole thing's a scam.
Is this the first mention of the Force on the show?
Yep.
No one's ever said may the Force be with you on the show?
Nope.
Maybe in the first season. I don't remember, but...
Well, how long has it been? And then I'm sure, if people mention that, you're gonna...
I sense the weight of things. Things I can't see. Pain, fear, need. Most beings carry the things that shape them, they carry the past. But some, very few. Your pilot. They're gathering as they go. There's a purpose to it. He's a messenger.
Every single actor gets a chance that is able to speak, gets a chance to shine on this show. And that is incredible. I mean, look at what she was able to do with that. Yeah. And I think it's really like fortified by people who actually know how to write a damn script and really, really well. Like every word of that was like, can you say more? And then, so are we to understand here that
she's like pretty much sensing like
there's bigger things for him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then this all like, hold on.
Coordinated by outside agitators. If I had something to offer, if we could lay this off on outsiders, then...
So it seems like in the past year, they kind of smoked him out. They realized he really wasn't who he said he was.
Yeah.
Still, he's still trying to contact them.
I know. I'm telling you. I was going to say, ooh.
Did it heal?
Yep.
Is it getting better? Yeah.
He's like, oh,
gosh,
shit.
darn it.
Look at that. I'm going to hide this from her.
It's better, isn't it?
Maybe.
She called you a messenger. I've had dreams like that.
Why are you doing this?
What if it's important? I know you felt something, that's why you're so upset.
The funny thing is, like, this episode really does feel like the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
But the calm isn't very calm to begin with. It's actually already, like, starting off pretty tense.
I am finding it so interesting that they're using the Force like this. Like,
yeah.
When have we seen that? Where it's more than just this like thing that's
superpower
used by a certain group of people. It's like, no, like it's more than that. It's it's like it's all around us, but like that's so cool.
I agree with you. That's a really good point. Like there are very minimal points in this universe where we get the the Force was choking me. We get the perspective of normal people and how the Force affects them.
Yeah,
Must proclaim their loyalties.
Don't push too hard. You know where I stand. The day I need permission to come and go, I'm gone.
That day is near.
General Draven, I believe is his name. If you don't recall his face, he was in Rogue One.
Yeah, he was for sure the one giving him orders, being like, basically treating him aloof in this. It's like, are you doing this or not? So,
yeah. I know we don't really spend too much time because Andor is great, but like, I want to say that at this point, the Ghost crew are hanging around here. From the Rebels TV show. So
yeah.
That's an interesting point to put out there. But God, the sets, even that treehouse campsite thing that they were at.
That's nice.
Can I live there? Like, and a different, like, new thing to add on to it. I guess it's kind of maybe didn't need to be said, but like, I didn't realize that Yavin 4 was also kind of treated as a bit of a refugee camp, in addition to it being a rebel base.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting.
Sergeant?
Sir?
Get these men shaped up and ready for presentation.
There's not a man amongst them, sir, but I'll do what I can.
Am I going to have a problem here?
These people give me a bad vibe. Even Dedra was like, what the hell is this?
Just left turn!
They look like children.
Quick! March!
I don't know. Sometimes it really makes you wonder, like,
Is this because they stopped using
Fascist-
the clones?
what?
Is this because they barely stopped using the clones? Like, why are they making it such a point that they're really young?
Oh, just because this is supposed to be like them protecting. This is supposed to be the like army protecting them, isn't it?
A special squad, basically. Yeah, there's supposed to be something special, and it's like doesn't give off that appearance whatsoever.
I guess I want to say that they're using them as like for slaughter.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. They want the war against the Gormans, but it's like
look at what these people did.
Because either
That's
they win
interesting.
against the Gormans and wipe them out, or they lose so badly that they're gonna be like, "Hey, look what they did!" Yeah, like what you said.
Oh,
hello.
I like that their door is just like open.
Right?
We're not a bunch of maniacs running around Aldani. We're building a real army. Cassian is a leader now. We've all given so much. A little discipline doesn't seem too much to ask.
This is really a lot for Bix to take in because you can really feel like she is bearing the pressure for both of them. And like she's the one that's going to have to make some big decisions here. Because she's getting it from all sides. She's getting it from the kid that's with Luthen now. She's getting it from Val here, who no longer is with Luthen, but now is representing the rebellion. And then the mystical side of things from the Force healer. And it's like, I would be like, can you guys just back off?
Yeah.
At this point,
Let
like,
me breathe.
Second floor. Third from the left.
She's in there. She sleeps in the building.
Does she know what he looks like?
I think so.
she should. And I
Yes.
feel like the people who are closely following that situation should know what he looks like because they have a picture of him.
Okay.
I think she
I
did.
couldn't remember.
I think she did show a picture. Like she had like a picture of him at some point, and she did specifically ask for Andor. Like I have to get him because she for sure doesn't know who Luthen is, or at least
Journalists require Imperial approval.
I know, yeah. I just got in. I didn't want to risk the curfew.
That's the guy, right?
yeah, that's the one that helped him out when he first got there.
We turn over our guest list each afternoon.
Good to know.
You'll have to carry your own bag this time. Another way.
Well, actually, I'm just now realizing, didn't we see him in that meeting? He was now on the war, the Gorman uprising. Yeah.
He was right next to the guy that was like, "We are Gore" or something like that.
Yeah, so in the years since he's joined this
the rebellion,
resistance,
he
basically.
recognizes Andor and it's like, yeah, that's right.
This guy.
Okay,
yeah,
that's good.
Anakin lookalike.
Mm-hmm.
French Anakin.
The French version of that, you mean? Yeah, we all know that look. Kid has a type. If you recall from 2 years earlier, something. It's just interesting there. But,
Clear skies tonight.
anyone just love when they talk in code?
Yes, it's so good.
The art one is. I love that.
The art one is really good. No, I loved it. When he was,
yeah.
I loved it when he was talking to that one lady when he stole the ship. And like he was talking code at first, but then as the conversation kept going, he was just like breaking it, and it was funny.
I love how you can tell what that is immediately by the sound design. I immediately brought back to the first movie, Star Wars. You know what I mean, right? You hear that in the sound design? Stormtroopers, I think. Yeah, right there. They're on top. On the ceiling.
Yeah, they're
on the roof. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait, I didn't pick up that it was stormtroopers specifically, but I just figured like, oh dang, it's soldiers. But yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right on top of him. If he takes a shot now, he's caught.
It's even more difficult to take the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see.
Than I think they were expecting.
Right. I'm sorry. I didn't know what he was doing.
And honestly, I'm just now. Maybe it was already like. Is it already over?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, we gotta pause. Well, go to the next one and then just pause it.
Let me drink some water. Keep talking. It's okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and do that. And then I'll just get the next one loaded up. Yeah, okay. So is it my understanding that the bellhop who is now seemingly working in the desk and he's also now in the resistance, like he purposefully gave Cassian that specific room to give him the best shot at Dedra? It seems that way, right?
I don't know if he knows that he's gonna take a shot at Dedra.
Because what's his name? What's his name? What is the kid's name?
Will.
Is it Will? Okay. Or Wilma, whatever it is. He had been with them already for a while. Because that's where he was coming back from. And he came to get Cassian specifically. And so that maybe he realized? I don't know. It's just speculation at this point.
I mean, there's multiple things. I don't know if we missed part of the dialogue. But I think maybe Cassian also said, like, oh, is there a spot over here? And then he managed to find a room for him. But it could be multiple things. So, I mean, the fact that we can just put those pieces together is, like, absolutely amazing, honestly. Like, it can't be anything.
Yes.
And then the way that, I completely missed the fact that that bellhop guy or whatever, the front desk guy, was in the rebellion room and all that. Completely missed it and just would have been kind of confused. So it's kind of cool that you really do need to pay attention to everything that's going on.
And it also just makes it feel like, it always feels very rewarding when we get to the end of a series and it really feels like all of the pieces, no matter how big or small, are really coming together in that sense, right? And while we're waiting for Alexis, I mean, there's just like some, really interesting developments here. It very much felt really short this episode, right? Like it just kind of ended and I'm like, oh, I guess we're already here.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, there was a lot of tense moments that they're building up to and all that, but there's also felt like the least amount going on, if that makes any sense of what I'm saying. Like, I just don't know how to explain it. Like, yes, there's a lot setting up and all that, but I think more than anything, this is like the slowest moving episode that we gotten, for sure.
But it's definitely, I think, to a point, because realistically, it is setting up an explosion.
Oh yeah.
Like what's about to happen is like, yeah, it's gonna be interesting here. Where do you think it's gonna go with Syril?
Syril, I don't know. I think they're already setting up the fact that he's gonna go against Dedra. He has no idea what's going on.
But ultimately, like, I don't. It's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out, and it will also be interesting to see what ultimately is his fate. Okay, so he turns on Dedra. What does that mean necessarily? Yeah, it's not too clear at this point.
Have all the episodes been the same times?
No, I think they've all been...
No, all of the episodes have been different, and I want to say either this episode, let me see, this episode or episode 9 that we're about to watch, I cannot believe we already finished one. That's incredible. I think this episode that we finished is one of the shorter ones, but I do want to say one of the next two that we're going to watch is the single longest episode of the whole show.
Boy.
Firm enough to silence any resistance, and you've been selected to help plan for that possibility.
By the way, these previously on Andor, I'm just like, it doesn't even matter the scene that they play. But when you're reminded of like, when they replay the scenes in front of you, it's just like, damn, that was a good moment. Oh, that was a good line. Like, just watching Krennic right there was like, so good.
Or synthetic alternative for the Gorman substrate material. I don't know the science, but it's bad luck Gorman.
It's bad luck Gorman. It's a really interesting way to put it. So, what do you guys think we're going to see here?
Somebody's gonna die.
Yeah.
You almost never know what this is all really about.
Good things are waiting for us. We'll be out of here soon. We'll be back in Coruscant.
She's so
we'll be
good.
together.
Oh my
we'll be
god.
rewarded.
For what? What have we accomplished?
Strangely, that's like the most excited she's been, and throughout this entire show, it's just like good things are waiting for us. Like, come on, just go along, man. Come on.
Weapons at this point.
We're counting on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Is anybody getting flashbacks to the Siege of Mandalore? One of those episodes open with like operatic like vocals coming in. Like, you know what's coming. You know, we just know.
That was 5 years ago, guys.
They're not opening anything. They're putting a shell around the building.
What do you mean?
I won't get us up from here.
I'm Presto.
They're building a fortress.
But they think...
Yeah, the Gormans are seeing this as an opportunity, but Cassian's already like, no,
Bro, no.
this is already a trap, guys.
It's
Come
a
on.
trap.
It's a trap.
The inexplicable resistance to imperial norms.
We need what's in the ground.
I don't think so.
Our struggles with Gorman are well documented at this point.
See, I'm getting a sense that there's a small part of her that's very small part of her that's struggling to reconcile what the Empire is trying to do here. I think the majority of her is trying to overpower that and get through it because, of course, she wants the status and power that comes with being in the Empire, but also being with Syril and seeing in some ways how he's responded to what's going on. I feel like the cold hard truth about being a fascist is that you really have to try your hardest every day to swallow your humanity. Mm-hmm. And what's happening to her reminds me of of a moment in a film that came out 2 years ago called The Zone of Interest, where it's a very important moment in the film where the main Nazi is literally like, he stops dead in his tracks and he literally throws up after the whole film has happened and the atrocities that he's committed. So it's just one of these, like, I think that's what's happening here. It's like, I don't think it's to the point of where it's yeah. I don't think it's to the point where she's like in complete conflict, because I don't think she's gonna defect, but knowing what's gonna happen here is having an impact on her because she's a human being. Mm-hmm. Still, to an extent, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Syril is a whole different situation where he's just like, what? Yeah. We're the bad guys? And then this guy is like, he knows what's happening here.
Yeah, it's
everybody else is.
T'es muklo frejek. Kumbi en beau.
Sua migraine bi et Bordeaux.
Si morfik nash res d'arbor.
Nash kumver stan soref kinex.
Soref. Nash bi soreft, vla nash bi gastam.
I would have left. I'm like, get me out of here right now, because this shit is so, again, it's like, it's so obvious what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then the people, they can't see it. Like,
they're so desperate to like do something, which I mean you can't blame them, you know?
No.
That I believe that it's worth saying. What kind of a being are you?
What kind of a being are you?
Insane.
And then this guy's bad news. I mean, I think they called him Captain Kaido.
But let's not confuse the chain of command. I'm the trigger supervisor, you're the finger. Make sure you're available.
I'll give you a finger. Seriously. If I'm Dedra, why am I still here? Can I just, if this guy has it, can I just leave? Or maybe it's Syril.
Maybe.
Again, even then, like, just get him and leave if you know what's gonna happen.
Hey, I hope things work out for you.
Rebellions are built on hope.
Cue the Leo DiCaprio meme.
Is he gonna run into that guy?
They're gonna pass right by each other, aren't they?
Oh,
there it is. There it is. Yeah.
He's gonna die. He's gonna die, guys.
I don't know.
It's gonna be a boy in a striped pajama situation.
It's on the line.
So.
Guys.
Like how last episode, really, it's a calm before the storm, and we're just like, oh god, oh god, oh god. What is he doing? Is he like debating whether to leave or not?
I think he's still trying to find a way to complete his mission. To get rid of Dedra. And he's trying to find the best spot for it, but it's gotten a whole bunch more complicated with this coming.
Syril.
There she is.
No. Okay. Just do it. Do it.
He's like, oh shit.
Oh, he's ready.
Do it.
Do it.
Even though Imperial officials tried to desperately negotiate a peaceful demonstration, local insurgents spread rumors through the night and have organized this highly...
How kind and charitable of this show to invite some Fox News hosts to give them a chance to be in a really big show like this. But yeah, peaceful protests are insurrections, and insurrections are just an expression of love. If only we didn't necessarily have a real life example to point to that we went through at some point, you know? And then the leader of that insurrection gets elected the president afterwards, so that's fine.
Sick, bro.
Oh.
Hey.
Anybody else creeped out by this?
I know.
What are they gonna do with that?
This little tie situation is really cool.
It's weird. Because
it is.
Underneath
like
the
it.
shirt. Okay.
No.
I mean, it still has to feel like space.
I'm honestly surprised Andor still wants to risk it. Like going after her.
Oh, shit.
Again, at this point, like, you... hide. Find a place to hide. I think how much more obvious can you make what's about to happen here? They're closing you in. They've barricaded their building. Like...
We'll be alright. Stay with Captain.
I'm out.
I have to go find my friend.
But I mean, again, it's not as if we live in a world that has police brutality, right? So this is a completely foreign idea to us.
Also, that kid needs to stop dating. It's not working out, my guy.
He just puts like a...
You're not gonna have what Andor and Bix have, sorry. It's just...
I see a barricade lane to the memorial that I need kept open. You will march them out there immediately and secure the area, or you can all finish your days in an Imperial brig.
See, this guy, the one that is being given orders to, Well, he's very clearly very low on the totem pole because he has somewhat of a conscience. Because he was like, "Are you serious right now?"
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I think, Alexis, how you said they're probably being led on the slaughter right now, to basically have their excuse to basically kill all these people.
No!
How long? We can discuss this later.
Ooh!
Jesus Christ.
Withdraw! Withdraw!
And they shot one of their own, of course. Yeah.
On purpose, or was that actually an accident?
On purpose. On purpose, because now it's going to agitate. If you kill a cop, the rest of them are going to kill in retaliation. And then once that happens, then the crowd, and it's like the whole thing happens. The whole point, that team that was sent out there on behalf of the Empire had no idea they were being used this way. That's what it is. And so once one of them gets shot down, it's open season. That was the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
He gets to relive that twice.
Hmm?
He gets to relive that twice in the same spot.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about?
No,
That's
I remember
true.
now. That dude's not even firing at the ones with guns. He's just...
No, they're just firing at people.
It's not safe.
Ooh. Do it. Come on, Andor. Right there. Do it. Do it. Do it. Come on. No. No! Just do it. Oh, shit.
Play dead. Play dead.
For real?
Honestly.
Oh, dude, they're scary.
Okay, get up. Come on.
No! No! Ah! Are you fucking kidding me?
Who are you?
Oh, shit.
He said, I got beef with this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Wow.
Who are you?
My God. Dude, that is fucked up. Oh my God.
To be told, who are you? And then...
Dead. Dude, that's so funny too, because the whole time I'm like, oh, I hope Andor and Syril meet.
That's so true!
But like, never even thinking about like, does Andor know who Syril is? I just assumed that he did or something, but no.
It was a one-sided obsession.
Wow.
It was a one-sided obsession.
That's crazy.
And that it completely disarmed him. I was like, wait, you don't know who... And then...
Boom. Dead.
This keeps going. Like, how long has it been? Like, they're going for total annihilation.
Oh my God. They're so scary, bro.
It's a pretty powerful droid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the
Honestly.
one they're gonna take?
It's cut in half, though. I don't think so.
It's not totally busted. You could put it back together.
I can't leave her behind. Tell people what happened here, Cass.
Mark this message and pass it forward. This is murder! The Empire built this fire. They made this fire and led us to the slaughter. Now they expect us to die without knowing why.
It does really look like Paris.
It's really interesting. Because,
I
of
know.
course, France was occupied by the Nazis.
That's what I was telling him in the first 3 episodes. I'm like, it's so interesting that they use, the French as like an inspiration.
We're sure to learn a great deal more about what happened here today and the price we'll pay for our own safety.
I'm legit scared to play the next episode, honestly. My God.
It's okay. We can sit with for this other couple of seconds. It's. This is the kind of episode that is meant to just take your breath away. You really can't talk. But don't forget, the Empire wouldn't stand for rape.
Oh my god.
They can commit genocide, but they can't stand for rape.
That was literally insane.
Mm-hmm. No, this is absolutely great. Just every single second of it. We were all on the edge of our seats for sure.
I mean, there's no question. I think we just witnessed one of the best episodes of TV we'll ever see. It's just the atrocities, man. The absolute atrocities that are being committed here. And it makes a big difference that, as you were mentioning it, they're not... Obviously, this was staged for what they wanted to do. And it wasn't so much that they wanted to counteract or eliminate a few insurgents. That was never the point. The point was to eliminate the population. And the easiest way for them to eliminate the population was to kill them. Label them insurrectionists. Label them insurgents. Run a smear whisper campaign for 2 years. Really makes you wonder where things are going to be 2 years from now. Not that atrocities like these aren't already occurring throughout the world, but unfortunately I'm referring to closer to home. It is a very terrifying episode, and they kept upping up the ante. It really took a whole new level of just inhumane brutality when they sent out those droids. And then to see the damage and especially in the way that they were murdering people, goes beyond just simple blaster fire. It came across like a damn horror movie. We should probably say a couple of words about how we feel the ending of Syril here, because it does come across like in the crossfire of what was happening. It seemed like the full realization of what his entire work has been just dawned on him in a way that you just could not refute. Like, oh, this is the ultimate betrayal of somebody who legitimately believed that the Empire was doing good. Mm-hmm. And that he, by extension, was doing good by supporting his country. And then all of that kind of just disappeared in this fit of blind fury when he came and saw the face of the person who he blames. And that outburst was pretty brutal. I mean, there are many things in this show, period, that one would never consider associating with Star Wars. But in this episode, I mean, we took it up so many more notches. I mean, just the brutal ways in which the combat was taking place here. Even the way that he was snapping at Dedra, where you weren't even quite sure, okay, which way is this going to go? Is he really about to throw out of a window right now? Which, that was, I think, definitely on the table. It was like, I think, was a possibility. And then also, it's really interesting to see where we leave Dedra at the end of all of this, because she clearly is, she's not doing the best. No. With what's happening either.
Like, what I meant earlier with Mon Mothma's speech from last week. She says, you know, you have to live with this for the rest of your life, and that's gonna be her situation now. Like, you set this all up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's this thing where, like, us now, we're telling people with obviously opposing views, this is what you wanted, this is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
This is what you voted for? Is that what you said?
Like, you can't think, like, oh, this isn't gonna happen to me, this isn't gonna affect me.
I mean, the thing with the show that's, like, really trying to tell is, don't make this too late. You know, don't let things go too far. I mean, the main thing is too late. You know, with what's the mom? Andor's mom?
Marva.
Marva, you know, her whole speech was about, hey, we let them do this, and now it's too late, really, to get them to leave peacefully or anything like that. If I can go, I love the part. It's like, if I can go back, I do it all. I do it differently. It's easy for the dead to say to fight, but it's up to you guys, you know. But fight, yeah, basically. And with Syril, it very much like hits that message home, where like it was too late for him, really. Like in that moment, he couldn't do anything. All he could do is rage out when he saw Andor. I mean, I don't know what he would have done had he not seen him, really. I don't know if he would have fought back. I don't know if...
Yeah. It's like, his whole thing is so interesting because, I mean, in my eyes, he's supposed to be, like, a MAGA person. For me. Obviously, like, you know, you can interpret it however way you want, but that's what I see. And his whole, like, everything that he's done since the first season, since we first met him, is just like crash out after crash out, and in his eyes it's all because of Andor. And in the end, when he's literally like, who the fuck are you? Like, what do you want with me? What, like, why do you have all this anger towards me? And you know, I feel like we kind of see that every day, at least us, because of who we are. And just like, why, at least for me, I do sit and think about everything that's happening in the world, and I do ask myself, like, why do these people have so much anger towards us, you know? Like, that's so interesting to me that they, like, put that out there.
Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty freaking sad. And now we still have one more episode. Do we want to press play?
I told you.
One last thing. The moment where the Gormans were singing.
I can't handle that.
Who else was thinking Casablanca? I was thinking that. That was like the
no!
first thing in my mind.
Oh God.
Yes. I'm sure some people would even say Les Mis.
I mean, as somebody who has been in walking protests,
revolutions.
No. I have felt like when they pan to, like, when it's the three of them singing and you see the guy cry, I mean, I've seen that firsthand, you know, and It's crazy.
So what do we think happens next?
Who knows?
I mean, judging by where we are in the timeline,
We get K.
everything goes more to shit.
At least we get K2SO. I think that's his name.
All right. Well, should we start?
Mm-hmm.
Also, his acting in the end. Oh,
gosh.
I should have. Yeah, Diego Luna, like that frame. And he's had several of those at this point, by the way.
Yes,
But
he's had multiple. Like
but this one.
He's so good, dude. Oh my gosh. And I love that ending with him. Just the weight of everything he has to go through. Really just fucking... It adds more to Rogue One.
Sense the weight of things I can't see. He's a messenger.
Also, the second time someone tells him, like, what was it? Tell people what happened. Tell them what happened here.
Yeah.
Ethan must know if you're ready to work.
What does he need me for?
ISP Supervisor Dedra.
I mean, in all the situations that we've seen him
Yeah.
in, you know, that's what he is.
Yeah. The two most remarkable ones would have to be the Gorman massacre, which we just saw, and then of course the prison last season.
And he's, I guess, the ultimate messenger in the end.
Yeah.
Right? Sorry. Don't yell at me.
No, seriously, I think that's
No,
what it is.
he was like... get
She keeps
closer to
like
the mic.
moving away from the mic, and I'm like, dude.
I get excited.
But that's her natural inclination. She's been podcasting for like 9 years. Like it is what it is. I mean, unless there's a feature where like the mic is moving where she's moving, or maybe just tape it to her.
I need the little mics you guys
Yeah.
Yeah.
have. So it moves with me.
It's so
like I would
good.
just move the microphone in front of like directly in front of you. It's like if it's possible. Like I wouldn't do that because now
I think that for this episode, I think it's definitely going to be a big question if Gore...
Oh
does
no! Why would they do this? That's horrible!
if Gore does burn brightly, I think. I'm very curious.
They are going to kill me.
Man, these intros go so hard.
Oh my god. They should have done one with Mothma's anthem.
In the Senate. No
That
warrant.
guy.
No!
No!
This is the Senate chamber. I have every right to be here. But no one help me!
The senator you'll be saving is about to risk everything, putting a voice to the atrocity you just survived.
Yeah.
Tell her you're done.
When have I not come through? I need to start making my own decisions.
I thought that's what we were fighting for.
He's like, damn, she got me.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
You'll ask if he's alone. He will say, I have friends everywhere. I have friends everywhere. Those words.
I'm gonna have trouble talking in this episode, I got a feeling.
I know. I have a question. Do we know about Bail Organa?
No, boy, what?
Like, what is he saying? That his team is corrupted? Like, do we know?
The people that are gonna take her away to safety, he has inside information that it's been compromised. That there's some, I think, a sketchy person on the team, and that's why they're sending his, I think, Cassian.
Okay. Oh, I'm asking, like, if there's something.
He's not saying that Bale ratted. No,
that we don't know.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure I've felt this betrayed in my life, and I've had some experience.
No, it's really getting to the point where it's like, how can you keep your shit together at this point? Like,
I know, bro.
There's just spies everywhere. Spies from your enemies, spies from your allies. It's just like,
play the wedding bop.
we should probably do that. Gosh, man. It just looks so grand. Like, look at this.
I shouldn't have told her about Erskine.
Is she speaking or not?
I don't know.
Somebody knows.
She's so tired of his shit.
Right?
I love her.
She was upset, sir. News out of Gorman.
Let us know if anything changes.
Will do, yes, sir.
Oh boy.
It's kind of cool how worried they are about her.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had suspicions for a while. I mean, which is why they put spies on her team. So it's not as if they're completely caught by surprise here.
No, yeah, but in this moment though, it's like all hands on deck almost.
Yeah.
Just for her.
And like we were talking about it too.
Well, except not really, because like where is Partagaz? Where is Dedra? Like there's not around, so it's not the whole ISB is not
That's
there.
True.
To be clear about that, I don't know where they Krennic or Yoloran or. So maybe they're having a party on Gorman's grave. Is that what it is? That could be what's happening, but. You know, it's really fascinating just like looking at these rooms here, because it definitely feels like there's been some really big, I guess nothing to do with what's going on right now, but just like design changes to the building on the exterior of the building, from the transition from what it looked like in the Republic to now it is as the Empire, because the Senate chambers more or less are the same, but everything else is just not. Even as far as how they have to check in through security, the whole it's much more Imperial, obviously. By the way, this set here, the ISB room, this situation room is...
It's awesome.
You think it'd be full today? They call an early session when they want to keep the numbers down.
The stewards have declared.
Have we met?
It's possible. I have friends everywhere.
I was like, dude, are they joking?
We too are grieving and wondering what more we might have done to stop this insurrection.
How are we feeling, guys? Sorry, I just... this... Oh, man.
It's
I
different
know.
kind of
This
intensity
is...
from the last episode, but...
Different.
And to those who fail to see this as an emergency, I say, what will you tell your people?
And I'm mainly just waiting for Mon Mothma's speech.
I know. If
like,
she's
what is
even
she?
gonna get the chance.
We know, we fixed it.
What?
We checked the protocol.
Open it.
You need the sequence key.
So let's have it.
We took it up to the security office yesterday.
He's freaking out.
Hey!
The death of truth is the ultimate victory of evil.
When truth leaves us, when we let it slip away, when it is ripped from our hands,
We become vulnerable to the appetite appetite of whatever monster screams the loudest.
Let her through! Let her through! Can we get a comment? Please, please!
Let her through.
Yeah.
Scum.
Really?
They thought that she would still be there?
The fuck?
That's funny.
It really is. Like, I mean, it's a reminder that a lot of these people that are in the Empire are kind of downright morons, you know? Like,
They killed Young's agent.
Dang it. Come on.
He's like, oh shit. What?
I am standing by. I was just. Yes, of course. I was just making sure.
Oh no. We saw that in the first season, right?
What?
That she like got uncomfortable with him.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Mhm.
I'm like, wait, did that actually
But I don't know if
happen?
that's a different driver than from the first season or not, but yeah, she's never trusted her
Well,
drivers,
yeah.
basically.
No.
Who belongs to this?
I think that's mine.
Who was that?
That's, he was Cassian's friend in Rogue One, and then we also saw him in the prison last year. He escaped
okay.
with him and was able to get away.
Alright.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I can't believe you made it.
Us too. We know how it ends too. So like,
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
We can listen in my office if you like.
I've heard her before. There's a dead KX unit backed up inside.
wow. They just mentioned like a bunch of stuff.
Right? At the same time. Yeah.
I want to live there.
I don't know about this whole open door thing, but yeah.
I'm also like, yep, nope.
Nothing's worth more than this. I mean it.
I know. I know you do.
They're gonna break up.
Suspicious.
She's gonna leave without saying goodbye.
Because he needs
Yep.
to stay. Oh!
He needs to stay.
Damn.
She's maybe she thinks she's holding him back. And I'd rather prefer this than her being dead.
Honestly, I was like, she's gonna be dead. He's gonna wake up and she's gonna be. Ugh.
That does look like such a comfy place to be at. I mean, you throw in AC, it might be perfect.
You'll hear a lot of blather about reprogramming, which makes it sound as though it's a problem solved behind a console, but that's nonsense, frankly.
You know, it just makes you realize, do you two recall the last time you even watched Rogue One?
I think the last time I saw it was at the movies.
You're fucking kidding me. Not even at home?
I'll take a weapon.
I'm excited to watch it after this. Because, like, I mean, obviously I remember, like, the big parts, but I truly don't remember, like, the lead up.
Well, I'm really curious to see what it is, because I kind of soured, like, hard on the movie. Like, I think the third act is, like, great.
They said, be ready. Sorry.
Yeah, but the first two acts are just very, very messy. Like,
Yeah,
very,
for
very
sure.
messy. And, like, it just, for me, didn't hold up on repeat viewings. And then also, like, and you know me, it gets me agitated when people point to something as, like, the best thing in its own vicinity, in its own franchise, and they're holding it up as it was better than all the other movies. And I'm sorry to say, but Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, I think, kick Rogue One's ass. That's just me anyway. Like, But we'll see how we feel when it's all said and done.
Not, I'd appreciate you pointing that elsewhere.
But it's also this other thing too, where if Rogue One does end up feeling better, it's still not because of Rogue One. It's because of this. The same way with Revenge of the Sith. If you enjoy Revenge of the Sith, it's not because of the movie. It's because of the Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's not something that stands so much on its own, so much as it's a piece of a larger whole here. So that's going to be the interesting situation here.
Question.
Is that yes?
Yeah, that's the last of it. For the final episode, do you guys want it to end like leading up to Rogue One? Like, you know, same way as how Rogue One ended like right before A New Hope? Or would you rather have it like have like a sort of ending that's like still far
hopeful ending?
Yeah, kind of like a hopeful ending, like Marvel's speech type of thing or something. And then maybe, because in my mind, I feel like the coolest way you can end this, since Bix is alive, I would love it if you see Bix, the guy from the prison, not the one that escaped with Andor, but the one that was
Circus?
Yeah, Andy Serkis, just everyone who will, like all those who we met, I would love for a shot of them being in that final fight in Return of the Jedi. You know, how like how everyone converges on the Death Star and everything. You know, just because I feel like that's kind of how you have to end it, where it's just like everything that he's done, everything that he went through, all the deaths that he witnessed, it has to be worth it. And in Rogue One, we know that it is worth it because at least this one little action that he took is worth it, but it doesn't really encapsulate everything that he's done, honestly. Even just watching this, I feel like it doesn't encapsulate everything that he's been through. And I would love it maybe if they end it where in the moment with the final fight, everyone he's ever met is there fighting.
If we recall, now again, Tony Gilroy's his own person. We'll see what he chooses to do. But if we think of the finales of Star Wars Rebels or Star Wars The Clone Wars, they didn't necessarily end in the timeline that they take place in. With Rebels, it has its conclusion, then we fast forward, we skip episodes 4, 5, and 6 into the end of, and then the Rebellion 1. With the Clone Wars, which is a very different tone than how it ended, it also went past Revenge of the Sith and had a time jump as well. So it's not out of the question that we could also see that happen here, where we can go all the way up to or during events, and then maybe even skip after. That very likely could be something that happens. I don't necessarily have, I guess, a list of a wish list of things that I need from it. I feel like with a show like Andor and the quality that we have been accustomed to, there's no doubt that whatever they do will be great. So it's nice to just sit back and, like, you know, at a point where, you know, you just take me where you take me, and I'm sure we'll end up in a really good place where we are. I feel like, you know, the journey, and my particular journey with something that's in the Star Wars universe has really taken a really interesting bit of a roller coaster reality. You know, like I come from an era where it's like, we all come from an era of where all that we had really were like 6 movies. And then came an animated show that really changed the perception of the prequel trilogy. Then came a new animated show. I think what people don't value enough about Star Wars Rebels is that I think it really rekindled for a lot of people the sense of adventurism and just the vibe of the original trilogy, and kind of married it with the leftovers of the prequel trilogy. Then we got the sequel trilogy, And I feel like in that era, and I've been talking about this a lot since Andor's been on the air, but it's like in that era when like you're kind of like getting so many more new things. It's like, you know, I begin with, you know, being hot on the prequels, not as hot on the originals, and then flipping it around to when Force Awakens come out, I'm like, wow, the originals are like so much full of magic. And then of course the prequels, you see them for the flaws that they are, right? Basically what I'm saying is I used to be a person that would be far more strict on like, well, if something had already like happened before, let's not try and like rewrite something. Or I guess, you know, retcon something. Like when it comes to like inconsistencies, because so many of the worst people on the internet have like made that their whole identity, it just feels wrong to even bitch about that. And we also have to thank Rise of Skywalker, because that was such an atrocity that even caring about canon doesn't even seem to be like that much of an important thing anymore. Like, because that movie was so bad, I think we've all just been forced to just pick it. And you know what? To give credit also to The Mandalorian, because that also was bad. Because we've had many things now that have been, and Ahsoka too, that have been so disappointing and have, you know, that's actually unfair to the Rise of Skywalker. There've been a lot of things lately that have not been great, that have actually kind of tainted the ideas of like what these characters were. So it's like I'm not a person anymore that like is that enraged. So like for things that happen here, like instance, I think they didn't say it out loud. They didn't need to, but very clearly we know what happens, especially with Mon. Because I feel like they didn't have to do that, and I think ideally they wouldn't want to do that, where it's like Cassian could have very easily just have brought Mon over to Yavin just like that, and that would have been the end of it. But because there was this pre-existing thing with Rebels in that, in the episode she was in, she was being whisked away. Gold Squadron came in, and they met up with Phoenix Squadron, and then they gave that speech that was broadcast all over the galaxy. Yeah, so it's like, that's why they had to really do that, but still, they didn't let any pre-existing things stop them or allow it to hinder them, right?
What they're trying to say.
So, well, it's in regards to the speech, right? I actually, just right now, in like where you were talking, I want to say that I was reading something about that speech that they were giving, because it is not the same. And there's also another inconsistency in that, you know, Bail here is saying, look, Yavin isn't ready. I can't leave with you. That being said, this whole time, and when you see the animated show Rebels, seems like Bail kind of comes and goes at his own leisure, wherever he wants to be. So it's like, again, is it the biggest thing in the world? No. Like with Star Wars, it has always been a universe of inconsistencies. What's a couple more? And it's just funny because, like, again, it's like for the people that try and make this fit, it doesn't really, it can't really. I mean, hey, all power to you. But this is what I just found here, because they were talking about this speech, and apparently they did rewrite the pieces that they didn't want. Because if you go and watch that Rebels episode, Cargo something, it's not the same one. And there's also, I mean, we'll see whatever the canon purists explain it, but this is what happened, what I'm reading here. I think this is Entertainment Weekly or some article here. Tony Gilroy explains that he and writer Danny Gilroy felt constrained by having to adhere to the speech she delivers, and weren't all that interested in parroting someone else's writing. We are hijacking canon, Tony Gilroy admits. In canon, she's rescued by the Gold Squadron, and the speech that they gave in the cartoon, which was a canonical show, is on that ship. And Danny's like, do I have to stick to this fucking speech? Interesting. Let me see here. In a really sneaky way, we're minimizing what they did in Star Wars Rebels, but we're keeping it consistent, Gilroy notes. we're just saying you don't really know the whole story of what happened. And that's true. They don't really get into it in that episode. She just kind of like appears and then whatever. But O'Reilly, Genevieve O'Reilly, wanted Mon to get the full meal of a moment here. Tony came into my trailer and I said, it's just extraordinary, she recounts. And he just sat there and went, you want me to write the whole speech, don't you? And I said, yes, please. Please, I would love that. Write the whole speech. Within a day or two, he came with that whole speech, she continues. He gave it to me, the idea being that I would learn it and then they would just do those moments. Then I went to the director and the director was like, yeah, let's film the whole speech. It was such a huge thing to give, for me to give that whole speech. It feels really special. So I feel like this is a really long way of saying it. It's just nice that even in a fandom as abusive and aggressive as Star Wars, I'm so happy that the people on this show, realizing how good of a story they were telling, didn't feel like they needed to have their hands tied by somebody else's work. And I say that, and I think we all can agree to that sentiment as all being fans of that show, Star Wars Rebels, and for what it did. And I feel like it's okay to have those kind of inconsistencies at this point, because there's just no way around. Why tie yourself? Especially since, like, I mean, canonically, I mean, okay, the small details, whatever, it still kind of happens. They still go out of their way to say, yeah, you can't take her with you. She has to be somewhere else, and they want her to make a speech. And we see how that happens. It's just the unfortunate disparity is when they made that episode of Star Wars Rebels back in 2017 or 2016, where, I mean, they had no idea they would even do this kind of show. They had no idea the kind of character Mon Mothma would be. All they had to work off was like what, episode 6? And a deleted scene from Return of the Jedi, and then maybe even like maybe 1 or 2 moments in Rogue One. So it's just like, it's Dave Filoni's he adheres very much to what the films say, and he's not really ever interested most of the time in fleshing out the characters beyond what George had just laid out there. That's how much of a purist he is. So when you go and watch that Rebels episode, which I think many people will do, I'm sure there'll be some jarring whiplash, right? Because it's just, I mean, the tonal thing is just one thing, right? But the quality of writing is also just not the same, even in terms of the speeches that she gives. So that is something interesting to note. But on the topic of the speech that she gives here, there have been many moments throughout this series, season 1 and season 2, that feel very much, and we keep saying it, and we're going to continue saying it, because this is what the show will be remembered for, is how impressively it is speaking to the time of the world that we are living in, for practically everything that it is doing. And for however much, I just think it's really interesting to see how, for however much that speech was very much in reference to the atrocities the Empire committed and to the Emperor himself, it very much can be said of somebody else right now in power, in control. And the distortion of what happens to a society when we allow truth, as she says, to be torn away from our hands. When truth is distorted, so much so to where there is this huge chasm between what is known and what is said, that is the ultimate victory of evil. And she references very specifically the loudest voices. So if there is a moment, and there are many moments in this show that can speak directly to what is happening, it really makes us feel like we're living in a simulation more than anything else, with how close it is to accuracy. But this is, and as I'm seeing here some of the reactions, man, it does make you wish that we had a real life politician like Mon Mothma that can not just speak truth to power, but can actually back that up and take it to action as to what it is. We are going through some very trying times, some very turbulent times. Just this week, the president said he has no idea if it is his job to uphold the Constitution when just 3 or 4 months ago he literally, well, he, to be fair, he didn't put his hand on the Bible for whatever that's worth, but he supposedly said the words that he would uphold the Constitution. Now he says he has no idea what that is.
Sick. Love that for us.
And especially that before she says that monster is Emperor Palpatine, which, by the way, you go. She really did tear the shit out of that place. And, you know, God, I wish we would have had a reaction to him watching that.
I
know! But when she says that, you know, the monster that will come for all of us sooner or later. And it does feel, again, the parallels. We do have a monster in charge who literally every day you turn on the news and there's this new group of people who are being targeted and being displaced and being destroyed for just the sake of it. So, Genevieve O'Reilly, look, I was so disgusted by the TV Academy, how both House of the Dragon Season 1 and Andor Season 1 were like airing simultaneously, and how they were like, go to hell. And right now we have, I mean, it shouldn't even be a question, but I feel like a number of performances that should be not just nominated, but awarded. I feel like you have to begin very clearly with Diego Luna, who is just, I feel like, blowing past any expectations people have. I'm very happy for fans of that character, because I'll tell you this was a character who I very much would have laughed in your face for having even thought he was important to begin with, because of how the movie treated him and how, you know, he was just a throwaway character and it wasn't explored on. And now look at where we are. Now look at where we are. I mean, they turned Cassian Andor into, I feel like, maybe the ultimate rebel here, especially, and it matters so much because, and there are plenty of rebel characters, but very few rebel characters that have had the focus, and very few that can speak to what it means to be in revolution, to become radicalized because of the atrocities surrounding you, and to become all in on it. It is a triumphant story, but it's also a tragic one, like the best of Star Wars can. I mean, I also say this too, it's like, it is still ridiculous to me how people can say that, what, doesn't it make all of this feel even more stupid for all those people that were successfully able to run a hate campaign against The Last Jedi, saying, why are there politics in Star Wars? And I say successfully because many people fell victim to that talking point, saying as to how that was a problem, and then they fell victim to the thinking that all Hollywood films suck now because of woke and fuck the woke and all that shit, right? Which is obviously just a fabrication by people who want to make money off of their hatred. And it's just so funny because, like, when I also look at the same people who are like, the prequels are amazing and that they hold up Revenge of the Sith as a masterpiece, very few of them, I think, would actually connect the dots, as honestly not subtle as it is. Because when I watched that movie 2 weeks ago, of a republic being brought down by an empire, a corrupt institution, mainly because the senators themselves allowed corporations to buy into the process. I mean, let's not forget that the Trade Federation in Star Wars had its own Senate representation. And then, of course, the Democratic Party, as it is today in America, is the Jedi Council that allowed themselves to be destroyed because of how inept and incompetent they were, and how they failed to consistently meet the moment, and they allowed fascism to rise all over the universe. That was a very long rant on so many different things, but just that's just my initial takeaways of like what my head was going through these last 2 weeks of just like everything with it. And I'm just so happy that we have something like Andor that I mean, it's been a very long time since I felt like anything coming out of Star Wars like would make me feel the way that it is. I mean, as Alexa said earlier, I mean, the Siege of Mandalore was 5 years ago.
Yep.
It's been a very long time. And by that same metric, we have unfortunately had to bear witness to many, many Star Wars projects that have it. To say that they had disappointed us would be a very piss poor way of saying it. Go watch those Ahsoka reactions. We legit were flipping out every half second. And God forbid if we ever did Mandalorian reactions.
Absolutely.
I will say I think maybe like as far as the live action is concerned, the animation stuff I think is always of a good quality, so I'm not really including it in the same space. And I should also make a distinction because people like to pile on. I think Obi-Wan is an exception to the rule. There were issues, but I feel like on the whole, that one was the only thing that we legitimately were like,
Obi-Wan sucked. Okay. I truly cannot wrap my head around people liking Mandalorian. Like, I truly cannot understand it. I've tried to. I don't.
No, it's upsetting. I remember when it debuted on Disney Plus, and to be fair to The Mandalorian, I think, and Peter will defend this, I kind of see it. I want to be fair, but I still was like, really? Okay, whatever. But the first 3 episodes were good.
I fell asleep.
But there's that too.
I fell asleep.
But remember, when The Mandalorian debuted on Disney Plus, there were so many. There was, I think, one review I saw. This is the best Star Wars since Return of the Jedi 30 years ago.
No, yeah. Every episode, this is the best thing in Star Wars. Or this is the best thing in cinema and all that. It was.
That's okay.
Yeah, it was getting annoying.
So it's just, it is weird. I think for somebody like me, and I think us, because I think all 3 of us have the same sensibilities and won't allow ourselves to be dragged in with we love Peter, but I feel like, and I even tried to have a conversation, but it just kept going back to the damn chip thing, and we just can't with the clones and everything. So it's like we can't move past that. Anywho, that's why he's not on the show.
With Rebels,
yeah,
or
with everything, It's like I
okay,
even
yeah.
He very much thought. Well, I'm not gonna get into it. He's not important
I
right
wish
now.
he was in these, because I know that he really likes these, and I would like to, because sometimes he does see things that or is very
yes.
Yeah, so I would like to have maybe in the last one.
Which is why it's interesting, because we I think we're on the same page when it comes to things like Andor, when it comes to things like the Last Jedi, the original films, even the prequels. I think we're on the same page. Mm-hmm. It's just when it gets into the animated stuff,
and that's fine.
Which is fine, yeah. That's okay. It's okay to disagree. But I think my overall point was going to be, it's interesting because I feel like for most of the loudest voices, there is very little consistency with the things that they proclaim to like and the things that are that they say are bad, especially when you end up finding out that their ideology on the political spectrum is of one that is, it's of one that is just blinded by outside forces, and they've kind of allowed themselves to just parrot the same things over and over again. I honestly, it should tell you a lot that what's that guy Star Wars Theories, he recused himself and says, I'm not going to review Andor because you people made fun of me that I thought that Vader would not stand for rape.
Crazy. There was a video I sent you guys of this podcast I listened to, which I recommend. It's pretty good. It's called Crazy Stupid Podcast. And when they aired the first 3 episodes, they were like, they're not even like trying to hide it anymore. It's not like they were trying to hide it before, but there's no excuse to like put up this wall of like no politics in my Star Wars. Like, they're saying words like tariffs, they're saying visas. Like, there's no excuse to not get that in your head that like this universe is a mirror of our world, you know? And like if you don't see it, you're either really stupid or you're just choosing to ignore it. Like, there's no excuse.
At this point, a lot of them want to ignore it because they've based their entire
Why do you think Star Wars Theory is not talking about it?
Yeah, they've based.
Is it really just because people were mean to him?
On the belief that you shouldn't have politics in media or anything like that, or if you did, you have to be subtle about it. You know, subtle about it. You know, if I make a story about some drug addict, no, I can't have it be meth. It has to be some XB11 concoction that it gives me strength or makes me go crazy or makes me do all sorts of things and blah blah blah, and now I'm addicted to it and all that. Like, that's how I have to do it, which is still not subtle, if you know. So it's just kind of insane how this show is just hitting the nail on everything. And again, we have to remind people, the story was played out before Trump's administration, so this isn't him, you know.
I mean, it was all laid out before, for sure.
So he's just calling it. He's just, you know, writing what he's seeing, and it's all right there.
I mean, it's sad to say, but like a lot of us were just duped. We were duped because we wanted to have hope that people were better than this, right? But like, I think, realistically speaking, we didn't want to believe for a second that he would be elected again after all of the bad things that happened. And there is a very long list of bad things. I mean, the insurrection is just one tiny part of it, and that's even crazy for me to say. He's impeached twice. He's a corrupt person. He's failed at everything at life except winning an election, which is just crazy to me. But then also just the handling of the global pandemic and the people who, I mean, he went up, and again, talking about the difference between what is known and what is said, he just goes up there and says shit out of his ass. Like, yeah, drink bleach and see what happens. That'll help you keep clean during COVID and shit. It's just terrible. Like, he is a horrible, hideous individual who, but in fairness to him, we shouldn't absolve all the people around him that prop him up, because really the president is also the people who are around the president, and truly hideous, disgusting, evil people. Like, it really does feel like, especially with what, I mean, they're just trying to completely, I mean, yeah, I just remembered he also just like he threw tear gas at protesters at the White House because he wanted the road cleared, because he wanted to have a photo op with the Bible that he was holding upside down. This was also during COVID.
No! Why? I don't want to be in this timeline.
So it's like, again, but many of these people who say in the Star Wars world and have these channels that there shouldn't be media that has politics in it, themselves are just freaking hypocritical because they don't want to say it out loud. They're Trump supporters. They're conservatives. You individuals have your own ideology that you want to promote over anything else, and you want to vanquish all other kinds of points of view. You have your own agenda. Everything, most of the time, that conservatives complain about, they're just projecting what they want to do onto other people. It just feels that way most of the time. it. I mean, look. Here's the excerpt. The difference between what is said and what is known to be true has become an abyss. Of all things at risk, the loss of an objective reality is perhaps the most dangerous. The death of truth is the ultimate victory of evil. I have to say, I'm just very happy to see people make statements about. I mean, there's one Houston Cawley said, "Imagine telling someone who just left the theater for Return of the Jedi that someday this character would be one of the most important and compelling in all of Star Wars." I think she had like one scene in the movie Mon Mothma, Return of the Jedi. And then she had a deleted scene in Revenge of the Sith, interestingly enough. Uh-huh. Oh, I mean... Just gonna put this there. It's pretty obvious, like what's happening there. Anyway. Oh, and there's this other one too that I wanted to point out. You know it's good when the two worst people in the galaxy actually make you feel bad for them. And then they put up these two.
I didn't feel bad for them.
Well,
it was.
Okay.
I felt bad for the guy.
Syril?
Yeah. I felt bad for him. I mean, that moment when
Who
the
are
Gorman guy, what kind of person are you?
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah. Yeah, that was
insane.
Did you catch the moment where Cass had like success? They were leaving the Senate building, and do you notice the moment where she drops the blue cloak?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making sure, because that was like basically the Imperial like color, and she just like dropped it at the right moment. I mean,
trash.
There should be awards for like
trash.
Yeah. Guys, go ahead, please take it away. I know I've been hogging this spotlight.
I mean, that specifically is a cool moment because of that, but it's also like she stands out obviously because of who she is, but like a lot of the time she's on the screen, what stands out is her wardrobe. So the fact that she was just like
she's dressing down the fancy stuff, puts on Andor's cloak, which is a little messy, rugged and all that. It's interesting.
I mean, I guess we still have the last episodes to see. I hope she comes out again.
Pretty sure.
I hope so.
I think she will, because she needs...
What happens to her family? Okay, I was actually having this conversation with David earlier, where I didn't understand why they didn't go after her. Like, obviously now I know that they did, but like, I don't know. I feel like even if
who's her?
Mon Mothma? Mon Mothma.
Who's they? The ISB?
The Empire.
She's just too big of a personality. She's one of the only ones that is really standing up to the Empire. If she goes down, that's gonna look very, very suspicious.
Why wouldn't they do something earlier? That's like, I didn't understand that.
Well, I mean, it was like a slow burn for her to rise up to.
You're
really
saying why didn't they just take her out sooner?
Mm-hmm.
I think the answer is they were trying to find the right amount of evidence to take her out, which is why they had the spies on there, and they just never were able to find the evidence that justified them taking her out, especially because Mon had made herself a pretty famous senator, and so for the Empire to just go in there and take her out, yeah.
Do you guys know
That's what it was. I
happens
mean,
to the
but also, they were not mentioned once,
She
which
said,
is really interesting.
I'm out. even
They
that.
were not mentioned once.
Not even that. She ghosted them.
Yeah, I think we should have gotten. We should have gotten a line or something saying like, "Oh yeah, they're gonna be safe here" or something from now on in Shandril, whatever.
She didn't even like. It's funny, like all the scenes with her, like of all her concerns, she didn't even address that one time. I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure. I mean, and it's because in the moment, like I mean, realistically, like what is there to be done? Like the decision was made a while ago that those two were never going to be brought on board.
Like I assume Bale, his like what's it called? What am I trying to say? Like why he held back was because of his family. That's what I assume. But she's
I mean, to be fair, like, it's a family business because Leia at this point is already out there and
she's
making
out there.
like
But
shit
then also,
happen.
his whole mission from the beginning is to protect Leia, so he has to take more precedent on that.
Okay.
With Mon, I think she knew from the very beginning.
And to be fair, like he is correct. Like it was time for Mon to leave because of to take advantage of the moment of the ramifications of this Gorman massacre. But Bale is correct.
They
Like,
should have done
by the
with
time we get to
the people in the first 3 episodes. You or me.
when we see Rogue One happen, they still don't even know if now is the right time for a big assault. Because I just feel like Rogue One and the Battle of Scarif was the first big battle of the Rebellion, and that was immediately followed up by the destruction of the Death Star and the Battle of Yavin in Star Wars. So it's just like it took until then, and even then they weren't even sure. Because if you recall, it's like, well, which by the way, it's interesting to see, like, and I'm sure there's an explanation in there somewhere. It's just, and it's not a critique, it's just an interesting thing. So, where did the Rebel fleet go after Rogue One? Because they weren't around for Star Wars. A New Hope. I mean, it was just like a couple of X-Wings. Not even a cruiser. A couple of X-Wings and the Millennium Falcon. For like half a second. So, what they're wondering is like, where did the fleet go? I'm sure maybe they probably evacuated.
The next character arc. They'll bring in another new character that we don't know about.
Yeah. By the way, I just shared something that was really funny on the main chat. If you want to look at it, do you have your phone with you? Or I just thought it was hilarious. It's like all of these characters exist in the same universe, and it had like 4 different like the wildest different like Star Wars characters you can imagine.
Oh my god. That's funny.
Yeah. Please.
Kyle sent.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I mean, it's like Star Wars fans when they get a well-written complex show instead of like useless cameos and lightsaber fights, and of course that has a picture of a Star Wars theory crying like the little bitch that he is. I mean, seriously.
It's so funny that even like, I mean, I know they kind of give us both things, and they do, I think, use the Force in like a positive way. Not even positive, just like as like a tool. But like the fact that our main character is like, no, the Force. I'm sure that must kill them.
There's this interesting exchange that I'm catching here. There's an account on Twitter that has a blue check mark, which usually is a really bad sign. His handle is called Script Trooper. Okay, and he says there was absolutely no reason to militarily occupy Gorman. It's one of the dumbest things Palpatine could have done. The Gormans were perfectly happy with their planet and its industry. The Emperor could have simply mined the material needed and left the Gormans alone. Why would he bring this kind of negative attention for no reason? Just like Ahsoka, where the New Republic has to be dumb for the plot to progress, the Empire has to be dumb for the Andor story to be told, and then someone retweets a dog. The show literally explains that they're mining the planet for minerals and would essentially destroy the planet. Do you really think the Gormans would just sit back and let that happen if they knew about that? Militarizing the planet is their best option to make sure. Again, it's like illiteracy, like
the show is making a point that anything that the Empire
they say
does
it so many times
that they look bad,
didn't Pastor
people
Gas
rebel.
just say like Pastor Gas just said like bad luck Gorman like
at a meeting explaining every single detail what is happening. They literally have you sit there, look at the pros and cons.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny looking at reviews of the people.
I mean, I guess they're like in the right mind of like this was unnecessary and this shouldn't be happening, but like, bruh.
It's definitely funny seeing like YouTubers just trying to criticize this show as much as they can without having to bring up the fact that it's so political. And all this one video that I saw, the person could say is that it was boring. And that tweet that you just brought up, it's like, why is the Empire like taking so long to do this? Why can't they just come in and all that? And someone literally had to explain to them they're not that powerful. It's not until the Death Star that they feel confident enough to do whatever they want. So they have to take things slow.
A whole arc where they're literally telling us
it really would be interesting though. I gotta say, yeah,
they've shown us time and time again, and you still don't you still don't get it. What? And because they're not powerful, that's why they're so desperate to get what they need.
Mm-hmm.
Which in comes a new hope.
Yeah, guys, I was gonna ask you guys anything else that you wanted to mention or just bring up about like moments that.
I can't really think of anything else. I mean, we talked about everything. Syril's ending was really, really good. Very surprising. Our reaction was big for sure. Andor, I mean, Diego Luna is just an amazing fucking actor. Again, people were saying that he wasn't acting much. You know, he's not really doing a lot of acting, but he's saying so much with just him looking far off into the distance. It's enough for sure.
I'm so interested to see. I mean, because they said 4 years, so I assume the next arc is going to be another year.
Yeah, it's going to be another year. It's going to be right before...
I mean, we're 2 years before A New Hope and Rogue One, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be so interesting to see what happens. I hope they kind of show... I mean, I assume that they are going to keep Bix away because we don't see her in Rogue One. I guess, like, my thing is, like, who is going to die? Is everybody going to die?
I don't think so. I really
assume we're going to see the end of Luthen's character.
I'm really curious to see how Luthen goes out.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some that will die out, but I think to me the ones that I would like for them to survive is Bix, Mon's cousin, Will, maybe just basically many of the ones closest to Andor. I mean, Mon's cousin is not really that close with Andor, but like I feel like there's enough there that you can guess that maybe they have a cool friendship or something. Well, yeah, she was friends with Bix, so.
I mean, we still don't know. The only one that we know for sure won't die is Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because literally, I mean, Cassian, Andor, K2SO, and Saw Gerrera, they die in Rogue One. And then, as far as everybody else, I mean... they're really much up for it. Even if Bix... Even if Bix left, I mean... That doesn't necessarily mean that she won't appear. I think it's likelier she doesn't. And that's like, this is where we leave her. But that still begs the question. We don't really know what's going to happen. Like, I don't even have a clue. Like, I mean, this whole season was leading up to this, and now how they close this out.
Oh, sorry. I thought of something just now. I mean, I guess maybe. I love that they were like hinting at this speech that she was gonna give, and instead we got Bix's speech. And I assume in this last arc, because in Rogue One he's like in it, right? He's like, this is my calling in a way.
Yeah.
So I assume in this next arc we're gonna see that like either he's in it, or it's like that very transition of like, okay, I'm gonna be in it. So it's like cool that we got Bix's speech, because I assume that's what like got him.
I don't think we're.
He even was like, I already heard her speak. I don't need to do that. You know?
Yeah.
And he was still like willing to leave it all. So that's I like that.
Yeah.
I think I don't think we're gonna see Bix in these 3 episodes. I think it's gonna be the last we see of her. And if they do show her, she's for sure not gonna be around Andor, I think.
Is she gonna be like Ahsoka showing up in a cloak?
I don't know. This is what I'm saying. Like, I think it's gonna end with them fighting in the rebellion. You know, fighting for Andor, fighting to stop the Empire and all that. I think I feel really confident.
We're gonna get like what's Felicity Jones's character, or maybe like her dad.
No, he's with the Empire, so he's not gonna be anywhere near Andor or anything like that.
But don't they get the?
By the way,
Say what?
Don't they get the plans from him?
No, but he's with the Empire in that time. It's in Rogue One. They go to a mission to kill him or to go after him. Andor is the one that gets the order to kill him.
Oh,
but then but they fail, and within that he gives the plan to Felicity Jones's character, and that's when they see the video of him, laying out the plan.
We might. I didn't mean like we were gonna meet him, but I meant to say like maybe like a name shout out or something.
I don't think so, but we'll see. But I think for sure Bix and Will are going to live, because I think it's just too depressing for have every single person that Andor met to have died.
Wasn't that the end of Rogue One? They all died.
Well, that was just the people that was some of the people he had just met, and so and like he's still he's fighting to like be free of the Empire and all that, but he still wants to fight for someone, and so just to kill off everyone, I'm kind of like, what else does he have to fight for after that, So it's just too depressing of a thing to happen, and I really do like that idea that is put out, that you see her flying in with everyone else at the end of or like in the battle of Andor.
We need the droid back.
Dude, I was so hoping that like he maybe gets damaged and he gets like his memory chip and he puts it on K2SO, but no, that's not what happens. That would have been funny.
I hope we see him again, but I don't think we are.
Maybe that can be the ending. It doesn't have to be her in Return of the Jedi. It can be her. It can be her going back to the place, and she picks him up, and she's like, "Where's Andor?" And
oh no! I don't like that.
That's good.
That's so sad. Okay, I'm done, guys. I am tired.
One last thing. I want to just commend Benjamin Bratt.
Ooh,
as I think he was great here, like stepping in for Jimmy Smits. It's not an easy thing. I mean, obviously we would have loved if Jimmy were here, because he's always played Bail Organa, and it's sad that he wasn't able to do it because of scheduling conflicts. But you know what? I think Benjamin came to play. I think he actually was like, okay, it was believable.
And at
some point, if we're gonna continue to do projects in this time, we're gonna have to get used to different faces, because they ain't gonna live forever. So that's gonna be one thing to note. Which is also curious, because again, like Rogue One was the trendsetter with the whole CGI Tarkin and Leia, and yeah, it's interesting here we are. I feel it's one of these things where maybe Tony Gilroy was like, well, even if it was on the table, I don't even think they would have the money to be able to. Well, maybe now they would be able to do it more easily since they did Luke, right? But still, it just feels like gross. But that never stopped Filoni or Favreau, and I suspect that won't be the last we see of this.
Like, he's still alive, and like, you know.
I mean, it's still weird even when the people are dead. I mean, the dead speak literally, right? It's like when they're doing that. So it's, I think either way, it's just not fun. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for the finale next week. Oh my God, here we are.
I'm not ready.
Yeah. All right then. Bye.
Bye.